The body is often underestimated in discussions about self-mastery. People tend to exalt the mind, the spirit, or even external success, while dismissing the body as little more than a vessel. Yet the Stoics, despite their reputation for stern rationality, knew the body could not be ignored. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the need to rise each morning and meet the day with vigor, reminding himself that he was made not to lie in comfort, but to act. Epictetus, once a slave who knew both hardship and endurance in the flesh, often reminded his students that philosophy is not something to be spoken only, but lived, tested in the crucible of action. And where do those actions take place, if not through the body? To neglect our physical health is to ignore one of the instruments through which we pursue virtue, resilience, and strength. Exercise, then, is not a vain pursuit of appearances, but a training ground for discipline, clarity, and freedom. When we move the body, we awaken something in the soul. Think about the feeling of finishing a run, the sweat cooling on the skin, the steady rhythm of the heart slowing back to normal. There is clarity in that moment, a reminder that life is movement, and that stagnation is what leads to decay. The benefits of physical fitness are not confined to the visible, muscles that grow or fat that diminishes. They extend into the unseen domains of courage, patience, and endurance. To hold a plank, to finish a final rep, or to push through the last stretch of a jog when the legs feel heavy is to train the mind in perseverance. It is a rehearsal for life's greater trials, a reminder that discomfort does not destroy us, but rather strengthens us when we face it willingly. The gym, the track, or the quiet morning walk become miniature versions of the battlefield of existence, places where we learn to overcome the resistance within ourselves. In a world that worships comfort, exercise is an act of quiet rebellion. We are surrounded by conveniences designed to save us effort. Cars to take us short distances, screens to keep us entertained without moving, meals prepared in an instant. And while these innovations remove physical strain, they often bring with them new forms of suffering, sluggishness, illness, restless energy with nowhere to flow. To choose fitness is to push back against this tide. It is to declare that we will not be lulled into passivity, but will actively sharpen ourselves. Seneca once observed that difficulty strengthens the mind as labor strengthens the body. When we train, we deliberately seek out difficulty. We willingly put ourselves in the path of effort, knowing that it is the only way to cultivate resilience. It is not that we love the burning muscles or the pounding heart for their own sake, but because we recognize in them the forging of something deeper, a spirit that refuses to yield.
The benefits of caring for the body ripple outward into every aspect of life. Energy multiplies, making work sharper and relationships more present. Stress, which so often festers in inactivity, finds release in sweat and motion. The mind, which can grow restless and clouded, discovers clarity when the body has been pushed to its limits. There is a harmony that emerges when mind and body are not in conflict, but in cooperation. The Stoics sought a life aligned with nature, and what is more natural than to move as the body was designed to move, to lift, to run, to stretch, to breathe deeply. These are not luxuries, but essentials of being human. When neglected, the body withers and drags the spirit with it. When nourished through movement, it becomes the foundation of a stable mind and a balanced soul. But it must be remembered that fitness, in the Stoic sense, is not vanity. It is not about chasing admiration in the eyes of others or sculpting a body to be displayed. That is as fleeting as the applause of the crowd, and Marcus Aurelius reminded us often of how little that truly matters. To train only for appearance is to chase shadows. The real prize is invisible, the strength of character that comes from discipline, the freedom from lethargy, the resilience to face life's storms without crumbling. A strong body serves a stronger mind, and a stronger mind serves a virtuous life. In this way, exercise becomes philosophy in motion. Each rep is an affirmation of perseverance, each drop of sweat a reminder of effort, each ache a lesson that growth often comes with pain. Modern science confirms what the Stoics intuited. Regular movement sharpens focus, reduces anxiety, and even lifts the fog of depression. The body produces its own natural medicine when we move it, rewarding us with clarity and calm. Sleep becomes deeper, digestion smoother, and the immune system more resilient. But beyond these measurable benefits, there is a subtler gift. Confidence rooted not in comparison, but in competence. When you know your body is capable, when you trust it to carry you through challenges, a quiet assurance follows you. You walk taller, not because you wish to be seen, but because you feel at home in your own frame.
There will always be excuses. The bed is too warm, the day too busy, the energy too low. But these are the very moments when training becomes most meaningful. Marcus Aurelius would write in his Meditations about dragging himself from bed at dawn, reminding himself that he was made to do the work of a human being, not to hibernate like a beast of comfort. Each time we silence the excuse and take a step toward movement, we strengthen a muscle more important than any bicep or calf, the muscle of willpower. That is the essence of Stoic fitness, not merely building a body, but training the self to choose what is hard but good over what is easy but empty. And let us not overlook the humility exercise teaches. No matter how strong, fast, or flexible we become, there are always limits. The weight that cannot be lifted, the distance too far, the breath that falters. These limits remind us of our mortality, of our finiteness, and in that recognition, we find perspective. The body is not eternal. It will age, weaken, and eventually return to dust. But instead of despairing at this truth, the Stoic embraces it. To exercise is not to deny mortality, but to honor life while it is ours, to use the body well while we have it. Fitness becomes a way of saying thank you for the time we are given. Thank you for the vessel through which we experience the world. Consider also the way movement binds us to the present. A mind anxious about the future or brooding on the past is pulled into the now when the body is under strain. A sprint leaves no room for regret or anticipation. The breath demands attention, the muscles command focus. In this way, exercise is a meditation in motion. It draws us into the immediacy of existence, into the moment where life actually happens. Many people struggle to sit in still meditation, restless with thoughts. But put them under a barbell or out on a trail, and suddenly they find that elusive clarity. The body leads the mind into stillness by demanding presence through effort.
And yet, balance is essential. Stoicism warns against obsession and excess in all forms. To become enslaved by vanity, to push the body beyond reason into injury, or to let exercise consume life until it becomes an idol, these are distortions of the good. The goal is harmony, not domination. The Stoic trains the body not as an end, but as a means, a partner in the pursuit of virtue. Fitness is not the summit of life, but a solid foundation, enabling one to live with greater purpose and to serve others with more energy and presence. The body is sharpened so that the mind can be sharpened, and the mind sharpened so that the soul may act justly, wisely, and courageously. So let us see exercise not as a chore, but as a privilege. Every push-up, every step, every drop of sweat is a declaration that we will not drift passively through life. We are here to engage, to act, to strengthen, to grow. The gym, the trail, the pool, or even the quiet stretch of floor in a small room, these are not mere spaces of exertion, but arenas of self-mastery. And each time we enter them, we rehearse the lessons that Stoicism has always taught, that effort is worth more than ease, that discipline outweighs indulgence, that strength, both of body and of character, is built not in comfort, but in struggle. When the day feels heavy and motivation low, remember this: your body is a gift, fleeting but powerful, and exercise is the way you honor it, not for the mirror, not for the approval of others, but for the inner alignment that comes when mind and body move as one. In training your flesh, you are also training your will, and in strengthening your frame, you are also fortifying your spirit. That is the true benefit of exercise, the one the Stoics would have us see. It is not merely about living longer, but about living better. Not merely about looking strong, but about being strong, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And when the body is tended with care, the mind steadied with discipline, and the spirit guided by virtue, then we are truly fit for life.